What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 3 advanced defensive tips to help improve your defense drastically almost immediately. These are simple things, but things that the average Madden player maybe doesn't know about or doesn't really understand how to use. And these things, these little things can take you from being, just an okay or an average defensive player to, being an above average defensive player, getting more stops and, having more success on the defensive side of the ball. So we're going to get right into it. So number 1 on the list that we want to go over today is I want to show you how to use cover 2 as a base defense, but not just how to use cover 2 as a base defense, but a couple good adjustments you can make to it to adjust to how people play the game and how to shut things down that otherwise might have been a little harder to shut down. So we're going to come out in Tampa 2, just going to use nickel normal. I really like nickel normal. It's a balanced set. It gets pretty good pass rush for whatever reason. The block shed from nickel normal, it just always is a little bit better. They get off blocks a lot quicker for some reason. Part of that is because I believe that the defensive ends are a little bit wider in nickel normal than they are in other formations. So I think that definitely helps. But now, how to use cover 2 as a base defense? Now, there's tons of different ways you can run base defense, right? Like, you can run a cover 2 base defense, a Tampa 2 style. You can run a cover 4 quarters base defense, which is basically a man match cover 4. You can run a 2-man under as a base defense, although that usually man defense as a base defense usually doesn't work in Madden because it's just too easy, to get people open versus man. But Tampa 2 is a great way to play base defense, and the reason for that is because you really can keep, for the most part, you can keep everything in front of you and force your opponent to have to take short gains. And what you do when you do that is you make them have to be perfect, every play. You make them have to take 4, 5, 6 yards of play, and then you rally to the ball. You can, lay hit sticks or try to strip the ball, and it just gives you a lot of opportunities for them to either, make a bad read and throw a bad pass, or, for them to throw it in a tight coverage and they drop a ball on a crucial down, or you hit them as they catch the ball and they fumble. That's why Tampa 2 is so good. So to make Tampa 2 better, what you always want to do is you want to take this mid-read guy, you want to drop him into a deep blue. You do this by pressing A or X and then up on the left stick. The reason for this is because the mid-read zone, while it is better this year, it does not always go back and defend that area on its own. Certain types of route combos will kind of have it where it is, kind of just defending low, and then you can get beat for a big gain over the deep middle, and that's not what we want to do with cover 2. We want to limit big plays. So you can do that. Now, of course, that will leave kind of the shallow middle of the field a little bit more open. So if you want to kind of take this up another step, you can always take one of your defensive tackles, drop them in a spy by pressing A or X and then left on the right stick. So basically that spy, we're just going to let this play run out just to show you. The spy is literally going to drop into the spot where that middle linebacker is kind of, vacating. And as you can see, nothing immediately is going to get open most of the time versus a cover 2 before the pass rush can get there. And that's why I like nickel normal, because like I said, the pass rush, even if you only rush 3, those defensive ends a lot of times will block shed very good. But you don't have to drop this guy back. You can just, run the defense like so, and you have to cover a little bit more ground over the middle, and the block shed will get there a little bit quicker. And so that's kind of up to you. But that's not the most important tip here. That's just kind of the basic setup for cover 2. So let's say, like I said, we drop this guy back, put this guy in a spy. The problem with a cover 2 is people really can abuse you in the flats. And like I said, that's what you want them to do. You want them to throw short, you want to rally to the ball, lay a hit stick, or try to strip the ball. But this is basically what's going to happen a lot of times, cover 2. You're going to go, okay, there, we went and got 7 yards. That's a good gain. That's a good gain. Now, yes, the reason we're running this as a base defense is because a 5 to 7 yard gain is better than giving up a 10 to 15 yard gain. And that's kind of like what we're banking on here. Again, other side of the field, throw a check down. We got about 5 yards, then we got a good animation and fell forward, but 5 yards at the point of contact. So when we're running this cover 2, we're saying you have to beat us in the flats. We're not really giving you anything else, because as you can see, the deeper routes over here, like this corner route, cornerback sitting right under it. This cornerback, well, we threw the ball here, but this cornerback right here is going to sit under this deep route to Alshon Jeffrey. And then, of course, we got our guys over the middle of the field, and we're going to use her over the middle. But how do we make this better? So if we know, this is not how I would run the defense every time, but this is how you run the defense when someone's abusing you to the flats. Because like I said, if you play that cover 2, you're going to make them have to go to the flats. And then this is where the advanced adjustment comes in. So this little route combo that we've been running, as you see, the flat routes are open. So if they start hitting us with this a lot, what you can do is use a technique that's called double flatting. So you take your outside yellow zones and you put them into hard flats. So we take him hard flat, him hard flat. So now what happens is, what we have is we still have the cloud flats on the outside. This guy, Byron Jones, is going to drop back to take a deep route. Over here, this guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, he's going to drop back to take the deep route. But these two guys underneath are going to shoot. Brown's going to shoot to the hard flat. And Smith, Jalen Smith here, is going to shoot to the hard flat. Now, when we run this setup, we have to use this middle guy. The whole middle is our responsibility. But the thing is, when people are abusing you to the flats, a lot of times they're running concepts like this. They're not even sending anybody over the middle. And if they do, they'll send one guy over the middle, and that's easy. We can guard one guy. That's not an issue. We can guard that one guy ourselves. But what happens here is, now these hard flats aren't open. If we try to throw these hard flats, we're picking that and we're going for 6 the other way. And that's the advanced adjustment. I know that this part 1 here is kind of long-winded, but I'm trying to show you kind of a 2-for-1 in a sense. So you want to run Tampa 2, like I said, as a base coverage. Drop this guy in the middle. If you want a little bit extra over the middle, you drop this guy in a spy. The pass rush will be a little bit worse when you do that, but you're making them have to throw short, and you're going to rally to the ball, and you're going to make them have to work. People don't like to work in Madden. People want to just get big chunk plays, get down the field, score 3 to 5 plays. They don't want to go on a 10, 12 play drive. That's just not what people want to do in Madden. So you frustrate them by making them do this, and then when they start dink and dunking you, if you play in a smart person that is going to dink and dunk you to those flats, that's when you randomly pull out the adjustment where you double flat the outside, and then you completely lock them up, and you're either going to force a coverage sack, you're going to force a bad throw or a panic throw, and you'll get turnovers by doing this. So if you want to use cover 2 as a base defense, which is something I do recommend, those are the adjustments that you're going to want to make sure to get down, because those adjustments are literally game-winning adjustments when, called at the right time. Number 2 on the list, I know number 1 was a little bit long. Number 2 on the list is going to be how to rush your spy in. And some of you might be saying, well, like, why is that even important? Why do I need to rush the spy in? Well, I'm going to tell you. So, and this one is something that more people might know, but if you don't know, for example, when a quarterback's running outside the pocket, let's say you're putting your spy on the field. So I'm gonna put the spy on the field because you're playing a Michael Vick, someone that likes to get outside the pocket. So for example, okay, I got Carson Wentz, who isn't that fast. I'm outside the pocket. Okay, I'm gonna deliver this pass now. I was able to deliver that pass. I couldn't run with them because the spy was there. We'll go to the replay. I couldn't run. I saw the spy, so I know, okay, I'm out the pocket. I see DeMarcus Lawrence here. If I can get on him. I see DeMarcus Lawrence here. He's spying me. He's running with me. So right here, I know, like, okay, I can't run with Carson Wentz, but I'll just stand here and just, hope something develops. And then that's exactly what I saw happen. Delivered the pass on the sideline. But if you blitz that spy in, now you can force maybe a sack, maybe a throwaway, or maybe they have to throw the ball earlier than they wanted to. They panic throw, and they throw an interception. So I'm going to show you the difference this time. As soon as you see someone go outside the pocket, you click the right stick in, and this is going to be hard to show because I'm trying to use both controllers, so it didn't work right that time, but we'll do it again. It's just, this is really hard to do because I have to use the offense and the defense to show this. So we get outside the pocket, I click the right stick in, now he starts blitzing in. Now I got to make a panic throw. Van Der Esch got there, deflected the ball, which was good. Now, in real game, this would be a little bit more effective because I would have been able to rush him in a little bit sooner. But like I said, I'm using 2 controllers, so my reaction time is a little off. So when you got a spy on the field, as soon as you see the quarterback break outside that pocket, like right here, as soon as I see him start to scramble, you want to click your right stick down, the joystick. You can click it in. You click it down, and then what that does is that tells your spy, rush the quarterback right now. Break your spy and blitz the QB, because having him in a spy is really to keep him in the pocket, to keep him from going outside. But as soon as he goes outside, as soon as there's no offensive line in our way to pick us up, there's no reason for him to just stay in that spy. We can blitz him in now because we know, especially, in a case let's say that's one of our linebackers there, a guy that's like 86, 87, 88 speed. That quarterback's not outrunning us. So we blitz this in, and now we put the pressure on him. We say, okay, either he's going to take a sack, he's going to throw the ball away, which is still a win for the defense, or, you know, right here, we were able to get the ball off, but look how we got it off. We're throwing off our back foot. It's a bad ball. The linebacker's able to get there, defend it, and in some situations, you're going to get a pick there. So you're basically now putting the pressure on the quarterback, and you're making it to where you're actually going to win more downs that way. If you just leave him in his spy, well, that's not going to do that much for you. It's just going to keep him from actually scrambling, but you don't want him to just stand back there and have 5 seconds to throw the ball. That's no good either. So as soon as you see him break the pocket, click the right stick in, put the pressure on him, and I guarantee you, you will get a ton more stops by doing this. It's honestly not even funny. So last but not least, I want to talk about something I talk about every year, and I'm a big believer in it, and that's using cover 6 defense. Not a defense a lot of people use. Cover 6, cover 3 cloud, they're very similar. They're almost the same. So you can use cover 3 cloud as well, but I just, maybe I'm weird, I just like using cover 6. I preach this every year. This is really a defense that can get you a lot of stops. You don't even have to make adjustments to it most of the time. You can literally just run it stock. And one of the main reasons is because people that play online, they're not used to seeing cover 6. They're used to seeing cover 2, cover 3, man defense, and now a little bit more often these past few years, they're used to seeing some cover 4. They're not used to seeing cover 6. Most people do not practice against cover 6. If they, cook up a money play, they're practicing against cover 2, cover 3, and man, maybe cover 4. They're not practicing it against cover 6. They don't know how to read that it's a cover 6. When the play breaks, because they're just, like I said, they're not used to it. And the great thing about cover 6 is, number one, it's very hard to throw one-play touchdowns on cover 6, whereas cover 3, cover 4, and even some cover 2s, there's ways to one-play touchdown those coverages. But because of how the deep zone's set up in a cover 6, basically it's a cover 4 on one side of the field, and then it's a cover 2 on the other side of the field. It's very hard to throw one-play touchdowns on this coverage, so that's one plus. But also, this coverage does a good job at defending flood concepts as well. So this same flood concept we were showing, with the cover 2, with the, like the streak, the corner route, and the flat. Cover 6 locks this up. Look, we just got completely shedded there by DeMarcus Lawrence, but we'll run it again. This completely locks this up. Look, the flat route's covered. We try to go to the corner route. Cornerback's there. Now, of course, Tate caught it because the game is trash and the cornerback didn't even make an attempt to play the ball, but he was in position. That wasn't a good throw. And this is something you don't get with cover 3, with regular cover 4. It doesn't really happen. So you see the quarter flat here, he sees that there is a flat route threat, so he says, all right, I am jumping that. And then right here, the safety deep says, okay, I'm going to take the deep route to Aguilar. And then this cornerback, instead of running back, he says, oh, I got to defend this corner route, so I'm going to get all over it. That's good coverage. That's not a good throw. Now, yes, he literally did nothing. He just stood there and let Tate catch the ball. But you just can't control that, Madden. That's going to happen sometimes. But the whole thing is you want to always put your defense in the best position to succeed. And this is a popular route combination that people love to, play in Madden. You see he's all over it. And if we have truth be told, if we have a better cornerback there, he probably makes the play. That guy is not really that good in the game. If we have an above average cornerback there, he's going to make that play more times than not. So that's one thing that's good about it. It stops those, those typical flood concepts that people like to go against. It stops one-play touchdowns. But it also is just a coverage that people struggle against because they're just simply not used to going against it. If you don't have to run this all game or as a base defense, but every 5 or 6 or so plays, just randomly pull out a cover 6 and watch what happens. I guarantee you'll get picks. I guarantee you'll, at the very worst, you're gonna cause some confusion for your opponent. Maybe in a big situation, maybe it's 3rd down, you pull out cover 6 for the first time, and maybe they just have to throw the ball away because they just weren't expecting it, and you won the down, and now you put them in a bad situation. Of course, you want to take one of these yellow zones right here, and you want to try to control as much over the middle of the field as you can, but you leave the deep zones and the quarter flat and the cloud flat to do their thing. So those are my 3 advanced tips, tips that have honestly really helped me, and not just me but other people on defense throughout the years. They really make a big difference if you know how to implement them at the right time, and just always kind of keep your opponent guessing and keep him on his heels and putting the pressure on him, making him have to play his best every single down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.